It's one of those things, just thank you for taking time on your day to come here and be part of this. We appreciate it. So, I'm sure you're wondering what this is about. It's about Shockwave. So, the reason we're doing the seminar is because when you hear Shockwave, or a lot of people hear Shockwave, they don't really know what it is, okay? It is a newer device. It was around for a while in the 90s, and it actually works so well that FDA uncleared it. So insurance is forced to take it off. Talk about scam. It came back a few years ago, and we got lucky enough that we actually have one. The reason we're doing the seminar is just to kind of educate some of you guys who haven't had it on just what it is, what it does, how it works. That's what we're going to go over. So what the technology is, what the research is. That's half the reason we have this device, is because the research on it is so great. Clinical uses, importance of therapy. So the reason that we've seen very good results with this is because my wife, to my left, is a therapist. And when we pair Shockwave, it's a passive treatment. When we take Shockwave and we add it make it into an active treatment where you're having to take responsibility for your own care, the quality just goes up exponentially. It's the reason why physical therapy works so much better than just getting a massage. It's very definitive, right? And then actually at the end of this, somebody will be demonstrating pre and post tests. So any volunteers here who has never done Shockwave, go over. So what is Shockwave? Shockwave is extracorporeal pulse activation technique, or ESWT is also what you'll see it as, extracorporeal shockwave technique. It's a highly effective, non-invasive, FDA cleared, yada, yada, yada. It's a technique that uses sound waves, okay, pressure waves. So shock, you think electrical, right? Not the case. It actually uses compressed air, and it uses a little piston that goes back and forth inside of this handheld device, and it goes 2.5 inches deep in your muscles. So if someone's really good at using their hands, they get about half inch deep. This goes 2.5 inches deep. I mean, sorry, 5 times further. So what it does is it actually creates a huge inflammatory response. So whenever we give the body an external stimulus or an external stress, what it does to adapt is it sends inflammation to the area. The only way for the body to heal is it has to have inflammation. That's why, like, as we've gone further on, we've noticed that like chronic icing is not really good. It's good for you. It's like just like letting the body heal itself. So what this device does is it forces stem cells to actually go to the area to heal it. Forces the body to adapt, pushes you further forward. That's why it's so great. Research. This, like I said, the reason we got this device is because the research is definitive. It's not some placebo where it's like, oh, you're going to feel 50% better when you leave. I just set a bias in there, right? So if you ever go into a doctor's office and they go, this will fix you, then you should just walk out because it probably won't. This works great on any type of tissue that has blood, okay? So tendons and muscles, they have blood. Cartilage, bone, things like that, when it doesn't have a blood supply, it's very hard for it to regenerate because the inflammatory response is not effective, okay? When we look at this, tendinopathy is a form of damage where the tendon gets stretched over and over and over and over again, and it loses its fluid or the elasticity there. This has been shown to be effective in helping that regenerate, so it actually gets fluid back into the tendon, takes the edge off. This low back pain study you see down here, this one was actually when it was paired with, so the Shockwave in passive treatment, effective. When it's paired with exercise, it was 3 times more effective. So the ability to load tissue after you desensitize it with something like this just helps accelerate the process. It's what keeps it better for longer, right? The last thing here is shoulders, calcific tendonitis. That's when the tendon actually gets damaged so far that it becomes bone, right? It's been shown to actually decrease the likelihood of surgery by, improving pain and shoulder function in chronic calcific shoulder tendonitis can result in complete resolution of calcifications. So it can take you from having to have surgery to not having to have surgery, as far as calcific tendonitis wise in the shoulder. I'm going to pass it off to Megan for
exciting. Okay, I'm going to do another slide on research because we're nerds and it's just fun to look through some research. This one on the left, though, is kind of interesting. So Alex was talking a lot about research on acute or chronic pain, different tendinopathies, inflammation, pain in an area. This is actually a newer study, maybe one of the few that are even out there, that actually shows like a muscle growth, so improved performance treating this even if the person doesn't have pain. So they used young athletes, football and basketball players, and they did treatments every 5 days to the thigh muscle. So they did parts of your quad, So they tested elasticity, tone, and muscle recruitment. And it actually showed that it improved blood flow, oxygenation, metabolic process, and just improved performance. So they're able to get treated with this while still playing their sport, which is kind of cool. It's something that it maybe wasn't used like before. And then this other one is a randomized control trial. It's interesting because they took a ton of studies, broke down inclusion criteria, and found 106 that were able to show that it's safe, effective, and non-invasive. So like he was saying about surgery, it's a good option because it's non-invasive. You at least can try it on your tissue. Like he said, if there's blood flow to the area, then we'll be able to get a good effect on it. And then the protocol, this is a lot of been issues in the research in the past because no one knew how to use it or the right frequency or how often. And they're able to break it down with all of these studies that doing it 3 sessions at 1 week intervals was the best protocol. And they actually said that 2,000 impulses was effective, and we do 3,000 to 6,000 pulses. So it's just kind of cool to know that even at a lower amount, it's still a really effective treatment. And for clinical use, just to reiterate the protocol, it's quick. It's 10 to 15 minutes tops for this treatment. It's recommended weekly. For kind of what Alex was talking about with the pain, it's 3 to 5 treatments is shown to be to work. And then, yeah, and for the muscle growth, which we've been dabbling in some experiments, and we'll touch on that in a minute. 5 to 10 sessions to get the most out of the performance part and recovery. And all the research did show that more is better. So the more you can handle, the more your tissue can tolerate, the better it will be for you. It'll be more effective. And then the cool thing is the pain threshold always gets a little higher. So as you're getting treated, and maybe you're 2 minutes into the treatment, you guys will see how it works. You'll be able to amp it up even more to get to that 6 out of 10 pain rating. And yeah, it kind of hurts, but like, you guys are fine. It's meant to hurt, because then your brain goes, well, there's a stimulus to that area. Like, okay, we got to turn that puppy up. And then the more you can handle, the better it'll work. So, yeah, otherwise, there was research that showed if you don't get enough energy, then it's not as effective. So, okay. Derek, you get to talk.
I do.
It's exciting.
So there was one day when I was doing my internship with Alex, I actually just had check-ins on bodybuilder with my coach, and Alex and I, we were talking about like this growth thing, and we were like, all right, you want to be a guinea pig? And I was like, sure, let's do it. So one area that me and my coach want to bring up is my arms. So he was like, where do you want to do it? Biceps or triceps? I was like, well, let's do the triceps. So with my check-ins, I check my measurements every day throughout the week. And so we started out in a deficit, and so basically that just means my calories were going lower. And so it's not really an optimal time to like add tissue on. So I started out at 16-inch arms. We ran it once every like 7 days before my push days, which basically just means chest, triceps, and shoulders. And so we did that 4 weeks in a row. And my weight went from 182 to 176 for body weight, but my arm measurement went from a 16 to a 16.75. So we gained 3/4 of an inch. What was cool though is after I got out of my deficit, being at that 176, is I was able to sustain the whole like circumference of the 16.75. It wasn't just for the like time being, even after we stopped treatment. So that was kind of the cool thing. That was it stayed even after the treatment was over.
It's those triceps.
Yeah.
You can see it over there. You can see it over there.
So yeah, anybody else have Shockwave done before that one stuck?
Ooh,
Aaron.
see.
So this is one of our good buddies, Aaron. He trains with us here, plays volleyball, has played volleyball for a long time. Played at Iowa State on their club team. Kid can jump and he can swing the heck out of it. I'm sure you guys can attest to this. Also, so yeah, if you got a couple thoughts for us.
You want me to stand up?
You can sit if you like.
You can just stand. That's okay.
Yeah, like I said, I play a lot of volleyball, been playing for the last 8 years, but my junior year of college, I hyperextended my left knee, so I've kind of always just had knee issues since I started playing. And I met Megan playing volleyball, and I told her, I think we were in a league together, and I said, hey, I'm gonna miss a couple of weeks, I'm having knee problems, and she's like, oh, you should come and let us check you out. And so I did, and I mean, we did actual training and working out, but that with the Shockwave, they mentioned it, you feel pain, but as an athlete, you kind of always feel like that, no pain, no gain, but it has to be the right pain and with people that know what they're doing. So that was really effective for me. And last outdoor season, I played a lot of grass volleyball and sand, and it was the first season in 5 years that I played pain-free with my knees. I also worked with my shoulder because that tends to hurt too. Alex always tells me I need to work out more and build up more muscle tissue and endurance and stamina. But, yeah, it's definitely helped me over the last year and a half of just being able to do what I like to do and do all the time with less pain. So,
Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Good?
I don't know how much tape you got.
Yeah, I know. Do you mind saying something quick?
I've probably used this machine more than anybody that they have. I'm just kind of hanging out here in the back, but
You're close,
yeah.
Everybody's like,
If anybody knows how to tear themselves up, it's me. I'm constantly being put together with duct tape, WD-40, Alex and Megan, and now Derek. A little backstory for me, I travel around the country, I play at a professional level of softball, if you believe there's such a thing. So I take thousands of swings a week doing R&D and whatnot for the company I work for, and I'm literally tearing things off of my body. Just recovering from a shoulder surgery at the end of January, and I've been on this machine since they've gotten it, and they don't know this until now, but the reason I really wanted them here, next door to us, over there, so I had access to that thing all the time.
Yeah.
But it's a game changer. And these guys are great at body work, and if anybody can manage me, then they gotta be really good. But that machine right there has cut my recovery time in half. I believe it wholeheartedly. I mean, there are certain things that your body has to do to heal itself, especially when you go through a surgery and you have anchors and all these other things that like to slow you down. But that machine right there, of all the machines that I've been through them all, has had the best and the quickest impact as far as my recovery time goes. So I'm a big believer in that.
Thanks, Lee.
Thank you.
Quick plug for Legacy Health. So they're right across the hallway. So if you ever need blood labs, anything, I mean, go over there. They also just added stem cells. So there are 2 studies out there right now that have this in combination with stem cells, and actually I think the efficacy of post-knee rehab with stem cells and Shockwave.
We're gonna find out next week.
Yeah, for meniscal regrowth.
Yeah,
It's like 90%.
it's happening. Get
So
the
it's
injections
pretty
next
crazy.
week.
we'll take videos.
I think that's good. Okay.
Okay, thanks for the shares.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
So, as Alex already mentioned, basically what we can treat, it's anything with blood. And then on the left side, these are just some of the diagnoses that it has been used for. As mentioned earlier, if it has blood, we can treat it.
Head to toe.
So,
All right.
who wants to get shocked?
Who hasn't had Shockwave?
Step right up.
Mark, so,
Wanna be the
would you
guy?
like to be guinea pig?
Sure.
Okay, Mark.
So
what's
worse than what Megan does to me.
Yeah, excuse me. What is, so I guess like.
She's
let's-
ridiculously strong,
Let
isn't
me
she?
make sure it's a good, I know, so we don't have to do it somewhere else. What's been bugging you the most lately?
Probably my lower back.
Lower back? Okay.
That's fine. Yeah, come on up, let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm not scared.
Everybody hands for Mark. So if there was something that you say bothers you the most, if I go back, like what moves you the worst?
Just a lot of bending and picking stuff up all day long and being up and down on my knees, bending over stuff and
Sure.
standing over my workbench.
So for perspective, Mark is a career mechanic, unfortunately.
Yes.
Yep. He just started his own shop. He works almost exclusively now on motocross bikes, correct?
Yep.
Yep. He's mobile. He goes all across the country. Pretty cool. Very skilled guy. When you have the pain in your low back, is it just across like your glutes and everywhere?
Yeah, just right glutes
Is
and
there,
just along.
is there something you can do to like trigger it? So if there was something that we could do as a pre-post, so if we bent over right now, would you be able to feel it in your low back? Yes, no?
Probably not.
Probably not. Okay, what is something that
The
makes
main thing is standing like in front of my bench sort of working all day long.
Did you have any pain when you walked in here?
In my back.
Yeah.
Not really.
Not really.
That's just my knee that's all screwed up. I need a new one.
Yeah, you and that lady over there.
Yeah, we both need new ones.
What about your ankle?
Yeah, that's all.
I've got Yeah. Yeah,
Let's do this.
Motocross.
Go ahead and go face up. Let's do a little pre-test here. Let's see what's going on with these guys. So, easiest way that we found to like establish this, go through that straight away, is we just check rotation of hips or legs. Because the hip or the glute, the femur, influences the low back a lot. Your glute balances your pelvis and allows you to actually be able to function, right? It's actually not terrible. So when we're looking at this, we want to see around 60 degrees of external rotation. Honestly, that's pretty solid. Let that go straight there, brother. Hey,
All right,
you're
meet
tough
somebody
on
else,
it.
somebody else.
Let's do this. Stand up. Go ahead. Can you touch your toes? Nope. Okay.
That's it, right there.
Come on. Okay. So there's your pre-test. Short of touching our toes. I had to find something so we can quantify it, right?
Yeah.
Go on your stomach there, brother. Do I have your verbal consent to treat you, Mark?
Absolutely.
Witnesses? Great.
So. It can't be any worse than what Megan does to me.
No.
No, but actually,
She beats the shit out
The
of me.
progressive weight of it, I don't feel good.
Okay, so we're basically going to treat both sides, erectors. So how this works is it's 6,000 total pulses. So we're going to treat. Feel that stuff there? Yeah, that's pretty cool. So what we're checking for when we do that is what's called compressibility. We're checking for like how much the tissue actually gives when we push on it. That indicates healthy tissue. Okay, learned that from a really smart guy from Australia, not while we were there recently. So we're basically going to break the treatment up over the course. We're going to go head here, switch, do it on both sides. We'll just see where it takes us. So we use ultrasound gel that helps conduct the sound waves actually into the tissue better. We found that you can actually treat it like over a socket. But it's not as effective.
never
It's
done
not as effective. You can do it though, but all right, Mark, you ready to roll, brother?
Sure.
Okay. All right, 0 to 10 there, man. Not too bad, nothing. So as I'm going here, I'm basically turning up the amount of energy that's going through the end of the gun. When we do this, we want to have it over 3. So you guys probably can't see this, but it's at 3.1. Once we get over 3, we're in what would be the therapeutic range or the effective range. Okay. How's that, Mark? 0 to 10. What do you got? Okay, about 5. Yeah. So how's that? Still okay?
Yeah.
Decent. You feel that stuff in there?
Yeah.
Is it too much, or are you gonna be all right?
I'll live.
Yeah. So that's basically the range you want you in, the all live range. That's about,
And it gets better the longer it's on.
so this vibration actually creates what's called an analgesic effect. Analgesic means numbing. So if you ever heard of like a topical analgesic, they use that when they do dental work on you. So this actually tricks your nerve into thinking that nothing's happening. How's that, Mark? So doing okay, brother? As you can tell, this is pretty easy point to shoot. I mean, there's not really.
About halfway through?
Yeah.
We're gonna,
I'm gonna do 1,500. So once again, like we read in that study, it's effective at approximately 2,000 pulses. When we have bilateral low back pain, like Mark does, we'll split it across both sides, so we get 3,000 pulses per side. That's essentially what we do. So there is. Switch over to the other side. That wasn't so bad, right?
No, it wasn't awful.
It wasn't. Different kind of feeling.
what does it
right?
feel like, Mark?
Yeah, describe it.
It feels like electric shock.
Right.
With a sledgehammer.
But the sledgehammer.
Alex is so strong.
Oh, yeah, right. I'm not doing any of this. This is the whole thing. It's got a whole deal. It tells you exactly what to do. All right, other side. How's that, Mark? Fine?
Oh, that's easy.
This one's cake, right? That's also the beauty of the analgesic effect is when it's this close in your spine, it actually crosses like the photon collateral. So even though we're working on one side, your brain perceives it as an assault to the area on both sides. How's that, brother?
That's all right.
0 to 10? Good. Doing great. Too much, you can make it.
Does that feel worse?
No,
About the same?
there's this one spot right there.
Yeah. This is where you're always, you know.
Yep.
I know this back. I've seen it at that.
Yeah, never done this.
It's a little different than our hands, right?
Yeah. One of those rough things, maybe.
Yeah. Megan's elbows can cut glass. Don't think you're
I'm not picking that one, Megan. I love you.
Doing great, brother.
You're not the first person to mess up. It's okay. You're used to it. Hey. 500 more.
So as you can see, this is the part of the treatment that's just passive. It doesn't require much. Obviously, the person who's doing it, you're just receiving treatment. That's why we found when you compare this with like an active treatment where you're having to put in an effort, your body will actually get a lot more resources. It's a lot like in bodybuilding, like your mind muscle connection, your ability to actually squeeze something and force it to do what you want it to do. Good. That wasn't so bad, right? No. Yeah, okay. So now we're gonna switch. Do you want to do it just at half, 16 difference? I mean, we may as well just treat both sides. You guys okay to hang tight for 2 more minutes while I treat both sides? Okay.
If you say so.
You could have said no.
Whatever you say.
No, it's good. It's good.
Good.
So we switched to another, so this first head has a much higher, it's just more intense mark. It's got like the waveform on it, it's just sharper. The
What
second
are you doing
head,
there?
the second head is, this is gonna be cake, okay? Ready? Yep. Easy, right? 0 to 10, brother. 0, beautiful. So on that last head, we got to about 3.5, where he was at like a 6.5 out of 10 pain. What's that, Mark? Yep, and we're at 3. So
Yeah, the same amount we were at before, with a more intense head, but now we can handle it much more.
still doing all right, brother? This one actually feels good,
He
right?
said this is cake.
Don't cheat me. Don't cheat me.
She
Game of the
said
seminar.
more is better, so turn it up.
You're doing great, man. Thanks for being a guinea pig.
So good?
That live to be a guinea pig, right? Yeah.
What was that?
My life.
Not life.
Wife.
Life. My life.
I thought I heard wait a minute, wait a minute.
Exactly.
You weren't listening until right then.
I gotta be careful what I say or she'll beat the shit out of me.
Now we don't mind that.
Doing great. About 400 left here, brother. Hey, coach. Thanks for coming. That's my father, everybody. All right, about 200 left here, man. You're doing awesome. This is easy, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Bring this all the way up. Made it for the fun part.
Awesome. We're just gonna run it on the other side really quick, guys, and then we'll just do a post test. We'll see if the guy can touch his toes. If Rainy can. Otherwise, I'm gonna look like a clown. So, all right, here we go. Doing right there, Mark? Easy.
Easy.
0 to 10. Give me a number. So same thing. Up to 3.5. Dead 0 still. Doing great.
Healthy guy.
Oh, yeah, but you can only like handle so
Right there, Mark. That's up to the bottom. So as we're treating here, you can see, like, you guys were come up and look, you can see his skin is lining up, so this is that inflammatory response. So if you've ever had cupping or like grasping, this is how the body interprets an external stimulus. So for Mark, I mean, I don't know, you guys can tell I'm not pushing very hard, but he's lighting up like crazy. I mean, it is like right back. But it feels good. At least, right, Mark?
The second round.
Yeah, second round. All right, 200 left here, brother. You're doing great.
what's the sound?
What's the sound? So this is the projectile going back and forth inside of there. So that's what's creating the compressed wave. So as they're coming out of here, they're running down the tube into that handpiece, and then what's modulating the actual like the percussive is that part. That's how it drives 2.5 inches deep into your muscles. That's how it gets it. All right, Mark.
Show the people your back. I'm just kidding.
No, just go ahead. Take your time getting up there, brother. Okay, so first impressions, how's it feel right now? Good. Describe it.
Doesn't hurt.
Doesn't hurt. No. Would you say it like feels, I mean, loose, warm, hot?
It's loose, sir.
Can you try and touch your toes first?
Oh,
Oh.
I mean, that's just tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. That's how it works. But yeah, that's all we got for you guys. So thank you all for being here. Really, we appreciate it. Seriously.
The second was just relaxing.
Yeah. The second was easy, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
I could.
But you guys are all here, so you get a free treatment if you're here tonight. So if you want to try this thing out, you get a free full treatment, whatever you want. That's all we got for you guys. Oh, also,
wait, no.
this is.
We have another slide.
Do we have some slides?
More
Where's
slides.
the iPad?
There's guys. Oh yeah. Thank you to our amazing vendors that came out tonight. So in the corner over here we have Jacob Morphus, aka More Performance. Anything you want to say, Jake?
I just want to give you guys huge compliments. I've had the Shockwave done on my shoulder. It works great. And like Alex just said, pairing that with exercise ends up with great results. That's why I'm here, because they do great work. And then I want to add on to what they do by building on top of the healthy tissue that they develop.
So he does personal training, More Performance. He's fantastic. Like I said, Legs Health, they're right across the street. They're awesome. Corey,
You want to come up here?
Yeah, I can come
come on up.
Alright. Well, cool. You're probably wondering, why are you guys here? Okay, so I'm very familiar with this machine. I did Olympic weightlifting for 26 years, and so I beat the crap out of my body. So they've been helping me with a whole bunch of stuff every time I do it again. And, you know, it's one of those things. These guys are awesome. So they keep us able to do our job, and our job is professional home organizing. So we organize people's garage, basements, pantries. Think about kind of like the Home Edit or those kind of shows. That's what we do. We're the biggest team of professional organizers in Minnesota, and it is my company, and I live here in Lakeville. And so, yeah, it's kind of my dream come to fruition. So we're here today because mental health and physical clutter can affect each other in very interesting ways. And so we found that we bring the self-care to people, and to take care of your space and take care of your body, and it all kind of intermixes. So we were really happy when they asked us if we could come. So what we have over there today is we offer 2 different services. The first service is professional organizing, and then the second we have is a luxury pack and unpack service for people to kind of pack them up, but then get rid of stuff before they move, and then unpack them in an organized way and get them set up from the get-go. So we have those 2 services. We're giving away a 3-hour organizing session today, so if you want to win a 3-hour session, you can fill out our card. It adds you to our email list, and we send you fun stories about organizing. And put it in there, and we'll draw that and let you know who wins. We have some treats over there. It's not just for show, but we have a fun little turntable. We put some protein powder in containers today because we thought that would be appropriate. And a blender bottle holder, because everyone's got all those blender bottles falling all over the kitchen. So yeah, we're excited. If you guys have any questions about organizing, or definitely let us know. So cool.
Also, Horsepower Fuel, they provided those protein bites back there. It's nut-free. They're great. Tori's one of our clients. She owns the place. She's awesome. Last thing is Dr. Derek. So he just graduated school. We couldn't be happier to be bringing him on. He's awesome. Kid's a killer. Thank you. Thank you guys for raising the way he did. He's a good kid. We love having him.